Hello, my name is Sean Ennis from Ennis Management, and thank you for joining me here once again on the Creative Collective. And today I'm honored to be joined by a very special guest. He's a songwriter and recording artist from Buffalo, New York, MOTIKS.
Hey, what's up? Thanks for having me on, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. So talk to me about the music scene in Buffalo, New York.
All right, man. I mean, it's actually getting to the point where you can almost flip through YouTube and you'll be able to see a lot of people coming up out of Buffalo. You see like Griselda Records. You know, they're signed with Shady Records now. It's huge. I mean, everybody knows about them. There's mad people just like all the time dropping music. I mean, you can go on SoundCloud and a new artist is dropping a mixtape and it's good music. There's really just a great culture that we got going on here. And I'd honestly say that I'm really proud to be part of up and coming city, and just trying to hop out like the rest of them.
Now, you got an incredibly unique stage name. Talk to me about how that came about.
Well, actually, the funny part about that is it's actually one of those names that you acquired like in high school. Like you had your boys that just like couldn't figure out what to call you because it was cool to call each other like some name, and they took my last name because it's Modica, that's my last name, and they just started calling me. They came out with like we used to chill at my old place and we called it the Tiki Lounge. Just like everybody came through and chilled and everything before, after school, during school, whatever. And they ended up just going from Tiki, to MOTIKS because it just worked out. That's how the name came along. And then, I started looking into it and I started comparing my name to like motif. And you look up the definition of motif on the internet. It's kind of like, just like, it literally has to do with music. And then you get into like the spiritual stuff on it. And I did it with my boy, and it actually just ended up, it just stuck with me, after that.
Now, what genre of music do you consider your work to be? And also, how would you describe your music?
Well, my genre would definitely be, I have to call it hip hop and rap. Like, I love the style of hip hop. I love rap. That's all I listen to. I mean, that's it. Like, the only thing I listen to from 90s rap up to current rap. I like to listen to music that's like, you hear it and you're like, damn, like that shit made me feel a certain type of way, and it had something to say. So for my music, I incorporate, I take, people I look up to like Nas, and I don't really listen to Biggie as much as I used to, but like there's a lot of like 90s rappers that I listen to, and I'm like, damn, like that flow is crazy, I gotta find a way to perfect mine. I'm constantly just like working on myself day to day to try to make my music like just the best it could ever be. It's been years, and I'm like at that point now where it's like, I can do this. Like I can be a hip hop artist. I can be phenomenal.
And walk me through how you got your start writing and recording music.
So basically, I remember it as if it was like yesterday. I just like, I always listened to rap music, and I remember it was in like 10th grade in high school, and I used to keep a notebook with me every day. I mean, I'd be in study hall, and I would listen to songs, and then all of a sudden I started listening to like instrumentals on YouTube, and I started just writing lyrics, and it was more like poetry rather than music, because I didn't really know how to make music at the time. It was more like just writing poetry and kind of like poems and stuff. I was always good at like English and writing essays and stuff like that. And then, eventually a couple years go by of me just writing, I started realizing that like I can't be wasting my time just writing poems. I gotta go out and I gotta find people that make beats, get real beats that nobody's ever heard of, take the music that I'm writing, put it into that beat, and then come up, and then eventually it came into like, damn, it's not just about the rap and the lyrics, it's about getting a catchy hook too. So I pretty much just do everything on my own. I'll go out, I'll sing a song with a hook, I'll write a verse that's literally like, if you listen to the song, some people ask me, is that you on the hook? And I'll be like, dude, that's me on the hook, that's me on the verse, that's my boy on the beat. Like, it's all me. It's all natural, you know. So that's pretty much how I evolved.
Now, you touched on it a little bit earlier, but what are some of your music or artists that have influenced you?
So, is it just any? Would you say like any artist, or would it be like artists that like are well known, like famous artists? Or it can be any artist.
Yeah, any artists that have had an impact on your music career.
So one big artist that I would look at. I mean, he's not huge, but he's from Buffalo. He's a good friend of mine. It's my boy Glendale Snead. He goes by Glen Cove. He's a producer, and he's literally. I mean, when I first heard his beats, I was dumbfounded. I produced 2 projects with literally just his beats. I got 2 beats on the new project. Not only is he a great producer, he's a phenomenal rapper too. He's got, he'll blow me away when he raps. He'll rap right in front of me. He'll write something, memorize it that day, rap it to me the next day, and I'm just dumbfounded. So I want to be, like him in the aspect of being able to write something, memorize that shit, go and write a beat that he'll literally have a beat in his head that he memorized to the verse that he wrote, and he'll make a beat after he already wrote a verse. Like, he's just crazy. So honestly, I look up to him when it comes to any type of music. He's the one I look up to the most. And he's got a second kid on the way, and he's still just like grinding, honestly, he's probably the main one I look up to.
And what sort of music did you listen to that has had an impact on your music career?
I've taken a lot of like I said before, I really listen to rap and hip hop, but if something's playing on the radio, like I like old school like rock. Like if you're gonna play like Aerosmith, like if you're gonna go put Aerosmith on, or like the Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like that. That music's still awesome, So I'll take that music and I'm like, this sounds amazing, but like, how amazing would it sound if I took that style, the way they sing and the way they, that rock star lifestyle, and put it into like a rap song. I know a lot of people are doing that nowadays. When you listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers and Aerosmith, and you're like, damn, like they're just like, they're so good at what they do. I don't play any instruments, but I can sing and I can rap. So why not incorporate music like that, and then go ahead and take music like Outkast, like Andre 3000, and all these rappers that from the 90s are like, they're really who I look up to, because there's not a lot of that rap stuff going on. Like there's like Dave East and Meek Mill is pretty dope, I guess. I don't listen to him as much, but like Dave East is like a huge inspiration too. And just taking those 2 styles and just merging them together and just being able to make like an awesome song of like the way I want it. Like if I listen to it and I'm like, this is amazing, I'm hoping that people are going to listen to it and think the same thing.
Now, you mentioned that you got your start in music from writing poetry and writing lyrics in school. Can you talk about what made you want to make that transition to being a recording artist and putting your art and your work out to the public? Because that's a pretty big transition. What made you want to do that?
Honestly, I feel like this whole interview, I sound kind of conceited, but in the music industry, you kind of have to be, because you can't just be out for everyone else's interest the whole time. You have to make yourself feel good about your own music before you bring it out to the world, the public, So I was recording on my phone, I was recording tracks trying to get good sound. Like I put my phone in front of the TV while the beat's playing, and I would rap from a good distance so it sounded like a song. I was just getting sick of it, honestly. So I went out and I bought equipment, and I was like, you know what? I need to make a real song. So I started doing it, and then I realized that you need more than just a mic and an interface to do it. So I started going out and paying people at studios to do it, and it all just started merging, because I wanted to see myself from starting in 10th grade, and I imagined myself 5-6 years later making real songs and people really listening to my music, like no bullshit, not just like, not because I wanted them to, but because they wanted to actually listen to me. Motivation was, damn, I want people to be listening to it and be like, this is the type of shit I want to listen to.
Because we currently find ourselves in the digital age of music, how important is a strong online presence to you in your music career?
Honestly, that's like the main thing right now. Like I said, I've never performed live before, so really the only thing I have at this moment is the people that I know personally in Buffalo, people that I know that are going to support me, and then outside of that, it's all online, really, everything. I mean, I pay on Facebook and YouTube for promotion, you know, so that's like the biggest thing right now is getting my music all around, you know, on social media, because that's all we have nowadays is trying to record your music, put it out there, and then you can't just put a song on a platform and be like, all right, let it sit, because we're not, you know, we're not Post Malone. We can't put a song out and get freaking 5 billion views like right away. So like the main thing right now is putting a track out and hoping that 300, 500,000 people listen to it, and it's not just people from Buffalo. And the main way to do it is over social media, really.
Absolutely. I certainly feel that, you know, in the physical era of music, back when it was CDs, the biggest challenge was the creation of the music and the even more the distribution. Like how do you get your physical CDs out across the country or even to the neighboring state? And I would say today in the music climate that we currently live in, it's not distribution. Distribution, you know, you can get your music uploaded to the streaming platforms just as quickly as signing up with DistroKid. Right now, the biggest challenge for independent artists is attention. How do you get people to go to Spotify and stream your song? How do you get someone to go to YouTube and watch your music video? How do you get people to care about your art?
Yeah, honestly, it's really a tough thing to do. You have to stay consistent, and you have to constantly just know in your head, like, you cannot take the insecurities that I talked about. You cannot take those insecurities and incorporate them, because you're gonna become unmotivated. You know, you're gonna be motivated one day, and the next day you're gonna be like, you know what, my music's shit, and you're gonna not want to do it, and then people aren't gonna pay attention. You know, so you really have to stay consistent. That's the one thing I've learned is you can't just. A lot of people try, like, I'm gonna disappear for 2 months, and then all of a sudden they come back and nobody even remembers who the hell you were, because you never really were anything at the point. So you really do have to stay consistent. That's probably my main thing now is, like, I did disappear for a couple months, and now it's like, shit, what do I do? Like, I got this awesome music, and who the hell am I going to show it to? Because I don't talk to half the people I used to talk to. I don't go out partying, promoting my music out partying. And so now it's just like, from now on, now that I got this album out, it's like, all right, where's the next project going to be? Because nobody's going to pay attention if you're not dropping music.
All right, so now I want to talk about, you recently released a project. Can you say the name of that project and then what the theme or concept is behind this project?
Yeah, so the name of it is Confirmation. Basically, like, the way I wanted it to revolve, like, people probably listen to it like, is this kid religious? Like, I'm really not religious. Like, I believe in God, and, like, I've been baptized and all that, but, like, the main thing was being, like, almost like being confirmed a rapper. Like, people listen to I want them to listen to this project and be like, okay, like, you know, it's confirmed. Like, this kid he's serious. He's not playing around. Like, he really is into this music shit. Like, that was my main idea with the whole project, was being, like, confirming that, like, you know, this kid knows what he's talking about. Like, he's from an up-and-coming city. He's been doing it for a while now. You know, I'm trying to become established. So basically, what I want to do from now on with these projects is I want to take confirmation as like a start. Like it's almost like a start. Like it's my first like little album that I dropped, and now it's just trying to find the missing puzzle pieces, you know.
So let's talk about your single "Ride a Bit."
Yeah, that song's honestly is more like a hype. It's like the hype song on the project. My boy Scoob produced it for me. Because Glen Cove is the one I always went through for beats, but Glen he went through a rough patch and he wasn't really doing the beats as much, and so Scoob is literally a close friend of his. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go through his boy to get a beat. So I got a nice beat from him, and I just wrote really it hyped me up, like just let the beat ride a bit. Like that's literally how the hook goes. Like let the beat ride for a little bit. Like it's just catchy. And I was like, you know what, we're gonna take this song to the studio. So I brought all the track outs, everything. I brought it to Ken over at Outer Limits, and we recorded the whole thing. I had my boy Nove from previously. It used to be Code Red Global. Now he's just Nova Vision. He does a lot of music videos and stuff. And I had him come the same day, recorded half of the music video. And it was just, I put a lot of money, time, effort into this song specifically. And it was really just kind of like the hype song to try to get the project to pop off more.
And what are some of the themes or topics that you cover on this record?
So in the song, so the hook doesn't really have as much of a concept. Like when you listen to it, you're kind of like, you understand what the song's about. Like you know, like you just let the beat ride. Like the verse is coming, the hook's over, the verse is coming, and then the verse comes in, and it's like I basically say like in the song, like it's the first song on the album after the intro. Like I'm basically just attacking the beat. Like I started off with like hold up, I throw blows. Like I'm coming in full swinging. Like I'm fucking Mike Tyson on the beat right now. Like excuse my language, but you know what I mean. Like I'm coming in full swinging on this beat right now, and I just unleash. Like when you listen to the verse, and it's really just like I said, it's a hype song. You listen to the verse, it's got a lot of energy to it. It makes you feel like I'm in it. Like this song is. You're gonna ride through the rest of this album after this song's over. You know what I mean? That's what it was for. Like let the beat ride, go into the next song.
Now let's talk about your another song, "On My Own." Can you talk to me about the creation process and then also some of the themes or topics on this record?
Yeah, so that song has a lot more meaning. That song I put towards the end of the project. That was actually the first song I dropped before the project. Before the whole project dropped, I dropped "On My Own." That was produced by Glen Cove, my boy. That was when he came back and he started getting back into the beat making. Basically, like the hook says it all too. The hook goes, "I ain't got no friends. That's why I'm all on my own." Like I don't have, like I used to be surrounded by people and I loved it. Like always having people around, and then you started noticing people trying to screw you over, and then you cut that person out, and all of a sudden you realize you really only got like 5 friends left, and you're not really on your own, but you're not chilling with those boys every day. You're by yourself. Like I'm by myself. I don't have those boys here helping me make my beat, making my song. Like the whole song is literally about why I cut people out, why I did what I did to get where I'm at, and that was the main thing about it.
Can you talk about the experience of creating and releasing really personal music?
Yeah, I honestly want people to it's almost like you have to make things simple nowadays. You can't make things as complex as you want them to be. It's like you have to make it almost simple so that people can understand what you're saying and what you went through. So like a song I dropped on my last project, it had such a deep meaning to it for me. Like I went through an experience and I literally just rapped about it, and I almost you almost black out when you're rapping about it, and then you drop the song, and every time you listen to it, you just get that feeling again. And it's like one day I want people to be able to feel what I'm feeling when I put my music out. So it has, it really hits deep sometimes when you're thinking like, damn, what are people thinking when they listen to my music? You know, so it has a huge impact on me.
And is there ever any fear about putting out really, really personal songs or subject matter?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say there's really much fear involved in putting music out, because I'm not afraid to like tell people how I feel, and to like, I'm really not afraid. I'm like an emotionally secure person. Like, I'm okay with putting music out, and people listen to it like, damn, like, people can be like, oh, this kid's soft. People can say this shit's awesome, I relate to it. I don't really honestly care what people think. But sometimes it is, you know, you fear it. Like when I dropped the song about being, like, talking about how pretty much I hate smoking weed now. You know, when I used to smoke weed, and all the people that I used to chill with, like, oh my God, I used to smoke freaking blah, 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 blah. I used to smoke all this weed with this kid back in the day, and now he's talking about how he hates it, you know, and I didn't have a fear at all dropping that, because that's how I felt. If they don't want to listen, they can go. Like, they don't have to listen. You know, I'm not going to force anybody to listen to how I feel about something in a song.
What are the joys and some of the challenges of songwriting?
So the big joy about it, honestly, is how I can literally I can put a beat on, and I can immediately feel a certain type of way. You know what I mean? Like, I could literally put a beat on and be like, damn, I feel this, you know? So I'll come up with a hook, and it's like nothing. It's like my joy of it is like how easy it comes to me. Like, if I like a beat, I can write a song in literally 30 minutes, a whole song. But like I said, going back on it and making sure everything's perfect, that's step number 2. It's like being an author. You don't just write a book and you're done. You send it off. You literally have to make it, and then you go back and revise it. You might have to freaking mix it 5 times. But really, it's just my joy of it is how fast I can get the initial rough draft down. That's my joy of it. The challenge is trying to get beats from people. They don't know who I am. They don't understand that I've been doing this for 6 years. You know, they don't understand that, like, when I say I need a beat, it's like I need a beat because I'm gonna do something with it. It's not just like I'm gonna put it in my file and just let it rest. Like, no, I'm gonna take your beat and I'm gonna make it something. I'm gonna take it from what it was as a little seed, and I'm gonna grow that bitch into a full flower.
What is the most appealing thing to you about pursuing a music career?
The most appealing thing for me is people vibing to my music. I mean, I think it would be awesome to just chill on your porch, and all of a sudden your boy, like, not your boy, just someone is driving by, and then just you hear your song. Like, I don't give a shit about money. I don't care about any of that shit. Like, I work my ass off. I make my money. Like, the joy of it is literally people taking my music and enjoying it themselves, as much as I do. Like, if I enjoy a song and I got freaking 200 people enjoying the song as much as I do, that's my joy in life. That's what I look forward to.
Now, what has been a challenge that you've had to face in your music career, and how have you been able to overcome that challenge?
So, for the music career, I'm trying to think a big challenge for me was, it actually they both happened at once. It's not even that big of a deal. You know, my boy Glen kind of went off the map for, you know, like 8 months. Couldn't really get any beats that, you know, he would literally send me 10 beats and not expect anything out of it, you know. So I was able to just like work all the time. So when he went, and then I started recording at this new studio that I went to about a year and a half ago, True Sound Studios. I've only recorded there 3 times, and he literally had to sell his house and build his studio from the ground up at his new house. It took him a year and a half. So this last year and a half literally has just been like nothing. I haven't been doing anything. So that was like a big challenge. And now I'm actually overcoming it because I found out how to do my own music at home. I started doing my own recordings and stuff at home, and I dropped this project. A lot of stuff on the project is, you know, mixed and mastered by me. And I'm overcoming it even more because now my boy Glen's back on the beat. True Sound Studio is booking time on the 1st. So now it's just like really all I had to do was wait and be patient. And now that I've waited, like all these people they're all coming back to where we were, and now it's time to go. Like now it's time to start moving.
Now, what's one piece of advice that you could give for an aspiring musician or a musician who's just getting started in their music career?
Don't ever think you're not good enough. Like, don't ever sit there and make a song and be like, this sucks. Like, as soon as you lose that motivation, you don't even consider yourself an artist. You know, like sometimes I think about how there's freaking, I don't know, 1 million artists out there maybe, and I'm just one in a million. You know, literally, it's like hitting the lotto. Sometimes you think about that. But my advice is just like, keep it going, man. Like, you will get better. And you got people listening no matter what you think. Like, you have people that probably been listening to you since day one. And if you stop, like, it's just foolish. Like, you could still work a 40-hour-a-week job and you can still go home and make music after. There's no reason to stop what you're doing. You do that shit because you love it. Don't do it because somebody's telling you to do it or you're setting any expectation. Only set that expectation for yourself, nobody else.
Can you share your social media links?
Yeah, so we got my Instagram link. It's its_MOTIKS, MOTIKS. Instagram, I post daily. Lately about my album. Twitter is Adam_Modica, MODICA. And then Facebook is MOTIKS. It's at MOTIKS, MOTIKS, Motives, MOTIVES. And those are like my main links that I use for everything. And then I got Snapchat is it's literally MOTIKS with a space between each letter because some asshole thought it would be cool to copy my name. Maybe, I don't know. So I had to do a space between each letter.
Now, is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge for offering you financial or emotional support to you in your music career?
Yeah, like, I mean, I'll always go back to Glen. If I ever had to talk to somebody about anything, Glen is the one to talk to. Like, he's the one that, my boy Glen Cove, like, he's the one that will literally motivate me to be better. He will pursue his dreams, and he will bring my ass with him. Like, if he became famous today, I'd be on his yacht with him tomorrow. Like, you know, so he's the one that I really want to shout out to and just be like, you know, thank you so much for bringing me up to where I'm at. Other than that, when it comes to like any like financial stability or anything like that, I really have to take the time to like thank myself. You know what I mean? I've always worked hard, man. I've always worked hard. I've always had the money to do whatever it was that I had to do. But when it comes to this music shit, I'd have to always thank Glen Cove, my boy.
Is there anything else you'd like to promote or share?
No, honestly, it's really just the album Confirmation. It's up on SoundCloud right now. You can look me up. It's literally just MOTIKS, MOTIKS on SoundCloud. You can look me up on any iTunes, Spotify. I have music, just a bunch of singles that's released over the last 2 years, and the album should be up, you know, in a couple days as soon as it goes through. Other than that, I mean, you hit my boy Glen or Lux 2 Wavy for beats, and other than that, I'm good, man. I had a great time.
All right, I would like to give a very big thank you to my guest for joining me here today on the Creative Collective. As always, write your comments below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And for all of your promotion, marketing, as well as music career consulting needs, email ennisproductions@gmail.com.